This is a story of Peace, a young woman of 24, lived a quiet life with her parents in a small village in West Africa. The family had little, but they were content with the simple life they led. Peace often helped her mother with household chores, while her father worked the fields. Though they struggled financially, they shared love and togetherness. Despite finishing secondary school, Peace had not been able to find a job. Opportunities in the village were scarce, and the family barely scraped by. At times, Peace dreamed of something bigger, of a life outside the village, but she had no clear path to follow. One fateful day, Peace went to the village market to buy vegetables for her mother. As she wandered through the bustling stalls, she heard someone calling her name. Turning around, she saw her old secondary school friend, Rita. They hadn't seen each other since they graduated, and Peace was delighted to reunite with her. They hugged and exchanged stories about their lives. As they spoke, Rita's smile slowly faded, and she expressed sadness that Peace was still living in the village, struggling. Peace, unaware of the life Rita now lived, listened intently, feeling a mixture of hope and longing. Rita, now dressed in expensive clothes and exuding confidence, painted a picture of a successful life in the city. She talked about her big job, the luxuries she enjoyed, and how the city had changed her life. Peace listened in awe, feeling a pang of envy and curiosity. Rita seemed to have everything Peace had ever dreamed of: wealth, freedom, and opportunity. Before parting ways, Rita insisted they exchange phone numbers, promising to keep in touch. A few weeks later, Rita called Peace, sounding excited. She invited Peace to leave the village and come to the city to live with her. Rita assured Peace that within a few months, she would be successful, just like her. Peace hesitated. She had never left the village before, and the city seemed like a faraway, intimidating place. However, Rita's words stayed with her, filling her with hope for a better future. After discussing it with her parents, who were reluctant at first but eventually agreed, Peace packed her few belongings and set off to the city, hopeful that this would be the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Peace's first sight of the city was overwhelming. The tall buildings, noisy streets, and the sheer number of people made her feel like a small fish in a vast ocean. Rita welcomed her warmly into her apartment, which was far more luxurious than anything Peace had ever imagined. But something about Rita's demeanor had changed. The confident, bubbly friend she remembered now seemed hardened and distant. It didn't take long for Peace to realize why. One night, as they sat in the apartment, Rita casually mentioned the truth about her job: she was involved in prostitution. Peace was shocked. She had never imagined that her old friend would end up in such a lifestyle. For a moment, Peace considered leaving, but the reality of her situation dawned on her. She had no money, no connections, and nowhere else to go. Desperate and afraid, she reluctantly stayed with Rita, unsure of what to do next. As the days turned into weeks, Peace found herself trapped. Without any skills or resources, she saw no other way to survive in the city. Rita, sensing Peace's hesitation, tried to convince her that the life they were living wasn't so bad, that they could make good money quickly and live a life of luxury. At first, Peace resisted, but the pressure of city life began to weigh heavily on her. Bills needed to be paid, food needed to be bought, and without any other options, Peace gave in. Her first experience on the streets was terrifying. She felt a deep sense of shame and guilt but forced herself to push those feelings aside, telling herself it was temporary. Just a few months, she repeated in her mind. But days turned into months, and months into years. She lost track of who she once was, and the dream of a better life seemed farther away than ever. One rainy evening, as Peace stood outside waiting for her next client, she met a man named Toby. He was different from the others, kind, soft-spoken, and genuinely interested in her. They spent time talking, and for the first time in a long while, Peace felt seen. Toby wasn't like her usual clients. He asked her why she was in this line of work, and without warning, the years of bottled-up emotions spilled out. Peace broke down, telling him about her life in the village, her parents, and how she had been lured into this world by desperation. Toby didn't judge her. Instead, he listened quietly, offering words of comfort. He told her that her past didn't define her and that she could change her life. This was the first time anyone had spoken to her in such a way since she left the village. Toby's words left a deep impact on Peace, sparking a glimmer of hope she hadn't felt in years. After that night, Toby continued to visit Peace, but not as a client. Instead, they met for coffee, went on walks, and spent time talking about life. Peace felt a connection with him that was unlike anything she had ever experienced. Slowly, she began to trust him and open up about her fears, regrets, and dreams of escaping the life she was trapped in. Toby, determined to help, encouraged her to leave prostitution and offered to support her until she could stand on her own feet. Peace was hesitant at first, worried about how she would survive without the money she had been making. But Toby's kindness and unwavering belief in her gave her the courage to make a change. One day, after much thought, Peace decided to take the leap. She told Rita she was leaving, packed her bags, and moved in with Toby. It was a terrifying decision, but it also felt like the first step toward reclaiming her life. Adjusting to life outside of prostitution wasn't easy. For years, Peace had lived in survival mode, and now she was faced with the challenge of finding a new path. Toby, true to his word, helped her get back on her feet. He encouraged her to take up a vocational course, and with his support, she enrolled in a sewing and fashion design class. It wasn't much, but it gave Peace a sense of purpose and direction. She began to feel like she had a future again. As Peace focused on rebuilding her life, she distanced herself from Rita. The two friends, once inseparable, had grown apart. Rita didn't understand Peace's decision to leave, and Peace, in turn, couldn't watch Rita continue down a path that had caused them both so much pain. Though it had to cut ties, Peace knew she had to let go of her past if she was going to move forward. With Toby by her side, Peace returned to her village for the first time in years. She was nervous, unsure of how her parents would react to the life she had lived in the city. But when she arrived, her parents welcomed her with open arms. They had missed her deeply and were relieved to see her return home, healthy and with a new sense of purpose. Peace, overwhelmed with emotion, promised her parents that she was ready to make them proud. Toby, too, was welcomed into the family. He explained how he had met Peace and how he had helped her escape the streets. Peace's parents were grateful, seeing in Toby the support and love that had helped bring their daughter back to them. For the first time in years, Peace felt at peace with herself and her family. With her family's support and Toby's love, Peace began building a new life. She excelled in her fashion design course and soon started her own small tailoring business in the village. It was slow at first, but word spread about her talent, and before long, she had a steady stream of clients. The village, once a place of limitation, now felt like home again. Peace had found her purpose and, with it, a new sense of hope for the future. She made new friends in the village, reconnecting with old classmates and meeting others who shared her passion for fashion. Rita, however, was not among them. Peace had not spoken to her since she left the city. Though it hurt to lose a friend, Peace knew that some ties had to be cut in order to heal and grow. Years passed, and Peace's life transformed completely. Her tailoring business flourished, and she became known in the village for her skill and creativity. With Toby by her side, she built a future she had once thought was out of reach. They married and started a family, creating a home filled with love and stability. Peace often reflected on her journey, the choices she had made, the hardships she had faced, and the strength she had found in herself to rise above it all. Though her past was painful, it had shaped her into the strong, resilient woman she had become. Peace had learned that true success wasn't measured by money or status, but by the love, support, and inner strength that carried her through life's darkest moments. Now, standing on the other side of her struggles, she felt grateful for the second chance she had been given and looked forward to a future full of hope and possibilities. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I hope you enjoyed this amazing story. See you next time.